my name is Bianca and I'm in Project and Portfolio 4, Section 2. Here is my level design, TheBatCave. To start it off, I have the camera set close to the player and I have it following the player throughout the level. Next, I have the triggers that set the backstory in motion for the player, and the player cannot walk when the dialogue is being said. You can see in the inspector as well, I can edit which text file the code uses and what line of code the script stops reading at. The player character cannot walk past any walls or walk through any rocks. He also can collect rupees. At the top right corner, you can see a counter counting every rupee that the player collects. Next, we have my Trello card. The card is my description of the level I wanted to create to fit the theme of my NPC while still matching the Legend of Zelda style. Below is my checklist of technical requirements for the enemy as well as my player. I made sure that the NPC and the player were unable to move outside of the walls, but still have the NPC shoot at the player. I had to make a block out and make sure that the level walls had colliders. For better appearance, I used textures to bring out the style type, and I used the text in Unity to create a rupee counter as well as the backstory of the player. Next, we have the document attached to my Trello card. In this document, I have all the information I needed to create my level. The level name is TheBatCave, and within the game there are 10 different ones. The level is based in the outdoors, specifically a cave. The design purpose of the scene is to introduce an enemy, Raven, and to complete a side quest. Here are some of the attributes. The size of the level is 61 on the x-axis, 1 on the y-axis, and 39 on the z-axis. For the visual, I have rocks in the level, and the whole visual is supposed to represent a cave. The entrance would be located on the side of a mountain, and the exit would be any hole within the cave. The NPC patroller would be Raven. He would be safe from being attacked by Raven if he was behind a wall or rock or somewhere out of range from her. The level is used to find hidden treasure and collect rupees as well. The location is near the mountains, and the event trigger would be a side quest given to the player. Lastly, we have the code for the level and how it works. The scripts I used and created to fix up the level are player movement, level text, activate manager, and text manager. In player movement, I use public and private codes. These are used to reference items that will be used in functions below. Count equals 0 was used to initialize the counter for the rupees. Text was used to initialize the setCountText function below. Private void onTriggerEnter2D was used to state what will happen when the player's colliders touch the rupees collider. The if statement in the void trigger is used to find any item that is tagged as a collectible and up the counter by 1, and get rid of the rupee game object. The setCountText function was used to set the text of the counters as rupees plus how many are collected. Script, I used public text asset and public string, which are used to reference the text file being used and the text line for the file. In the activate text manager script, I used the public and private codes to reference items that will be used in the functions below. Then I used textbox equals find object of type text manager, which was used to call the text manager script. Next, I used a public void onTrigger 2D function, which was used to enable the text and the text box to pop up when a player enters a trigger, then destroy the trigger when the text is done. In the text manager script, I used public text asset and public string, which was used to reference the text file being used and the text line for the file. If input.getKeyDown and curline plus equals 1, make the return key activate the next line of text. If curline is greater than endline and disable text box, disable the text when the line of text ends. Public void enable text box is used to activate the text box used for the dialogue and stop the player from moving once the dialogue pops up. Lastly, we have public void disable text box. This is used to deactivate the text box and allow the player to move again. This concludes my video on my level, TheBatCave. Thank you for watching.